Good evening. We're back with more Marvel Champions, and this evening is a replay of Ironheart versus Magneto on Expert difficulty. In the original playthrough, I did not account for Fabian Cortez having the villainous trait. And I got a request from a subscriber to post a replay, and this will be it. So, Magneto is a good scenario for one way or another because the side quests are very forgiving, especially if you know what they are and you can get them out at the right times. One of the side quests in Magneto gives +2 threat for each ally on the board, but with one way or another you can control when it comes out. And so you can bring it out when there are no allies on the board, and then it has only 2 threat. And that's what we're going to do here to start off. Bring in Magnetically Sealed is the name of the side quest. Then we can draw 3 for the low price of adding 2 threat to the board. Probably want to get out Tony Stark AI. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get a full play of Moon Girl. Might not even play Moon Girl at all in this situation. So play Skilled Investigator, which is pretty high value in this scenario. And play Flyover. Draw a card, and then we can play Ronnie Williams and be in pretty good shape. It's a good start. So typically with Ironheart on this scenario, I would say the win rate is, 1 in 3 or so. So no damage there. Do add a magnetic counter to the main scheme. And then an electric shock, so 1 damage and a stun. And an M-type sentinel. Well, the stun means we can't photon beam the sentinel without removing the stun first. But we got another flyover, and that's good. So we can get Sabotage Master Mold off to the victory display. That frees us up to flip to Alter Ego and allow Magneto to scheme and complete Asteroid M, because after Sabotage Master Mold is off the table, you don't have to bring in an M-type Sentinel when phase 1 of the scheme is completed. So I was just changing the way I was going to pay for things there so that I free up a science resource to add a counter to Ironheart after flipping to Alter Ego. Did clear a side scheme, so the Skilled Investigator should have drawn a card. And we'll hang on to Monica Chang and Photon Beam and draw 4. So, phase 1 of the scheme does complete. And then the M-type Sentinel will scheme. And then we got Caught Off Guard, and we're going to lose Skilled Investigator there. So, discard a science resource again, so we're up to 8. Ronnie Williams up to 9. Use Tony Stark AI. And then we'll get the stun off. Bring in Ironheart phase 2. Photon Beam, and we're already up to 5 progress counters. And we can play Monica Chang and grab our surveillance team. Clear Magnetically Sealed. So we're in a pretty good spot here, I would say, pretty quickly. In large part thanks to one way or another. and the forgiving side schemes of the Magneto scenario. We got a photon beam here, so we're going to be able to finish off phase 2. Use Tony Stark AI, and one way or another, grab seized. Magnetic Mayhem is really the only one that's iffy on whether you want to grab it from the encounter deck or not. So we do cycle through the deck there. Not certain that I actually realized that I cycled through the deck. So clear seized. Draw a card with Skilled Investigator. We're into phase 3 now. So victory is all but certain. Yeah, I think I didn't realize that I cycled through the deck at that point. I also think an additional encounter card at this point wouldn't have made any difference. There's a magnetic card. 1 damage, which removes my toughness. I probably should have blocked the attack with the toughness instead of defending with the ally because of cards like that. I think that was a small mistake. In my gameplay, not something I missed. The mistake was missing that I had cycled through the encounter deck, or my player deck there. So I was just discarding cards when it happened, I think. So actually, I think there was multiple small mistakes there. Because Seized says you discard 6 cards, and I think that's the point where I cycled through the deck. So I shouldn't have discarded the full 6 if that happened. Let me check. Yeah, so what should have happened is I think it was 3 or so in. Should have stopped discarding. So I discarded 3 more. I discarded 3 more than I needed to, and also forgot to deal an encounter card for cycling. But given the board setup that I have, it's very unlikely that would affect anything. So if I jumped over to the game board, I'm curious, what would a random encounter card be? An advance? Would an advance have affected anything? Potentially, could have advanced the main scheme, but that wouldn't matter. Would bring in an attachment for Magneto. Well, no, it wouldn't, because physical strain is already out, so could have advanced the main scheme potentially, but nothing else would have happened. So anyway, we'll never know, but extremely unlikely to have affected the game. Now here, I got a master plan, and because I've been pulling side schemes out of the encounter deck with one way or another, there's only one left in the deck, and I had to discard for quite a while to find it, so the encounter deck's almost cycled through at this point. And Magnetic Mayhem's not one I really want to clear or care about clearing, so I'll just leave it. So we attack with Wiccan. The boost card is a dud. And we'll draw 6. We got a full setup. Tony Stark AI, Avengers Mansion, Propulsion Jets, just missing Photon Blasters, but we got them in hand. Now the encounter deck is toast, and we added an acceleration token. Shadow of the Past. Right after Master Plan, that's rough, but no problem. And then Magneto's helmet. Ironheart's nemesis is fairly mild as far as nemesis go. So as the encounter deck is cycled, I'm going to play one way or another. Got no allies on the table, so I can just find magnetically sealed. And draw 3. So we got a massive hand size with a lot of options. Play Moon Girl and draw 2. So only use 2 science resources there. Play Flyover. So I'm gonna first use Moon Girl to clear the side scheme, and then drop threat by 3 on Rule by Force, and then Flyover and clear Flyover, and add 2 progress tokens. Get out Photon Blasters, plus 2 HP, though I don't know if I remember that or not. There it goes. And we'll use a progress token to get rid of that toughness. And Photon Blasters on Magneto. I thought about the Nemesis for a sec, but then I realized, oh, I have Photon Beam. And 2 cards to pay for it, so I'm just going to Photon Beam Lucia, add 2 progress tokens, and then just start blasting. We want to save the progress tokens to OTK Magneto in Phase 3, so we're not going to use those now. Just keep them. And we got a magnetic card coming. Metal Shards. Deal 1 damage, place 1 magnet counter. Then we got an encounter card, which is under fire. Okay. Caught off guard, I will get rid of the surveillance team. And an assault. So we'll have to defend an attack for 2 damage. Alright, so we got Tony Stark AI, we got Avengers Mansion. And we could do some work here. Fly over, remove 2 threat, add 2 progress. Go Nick Fury and draw 3. Stroke of Genius. New and improved, and we'll Photon Beam and add 2, 1 for Stroke of Genius and 1 for Photon Beam, and then we draw a card with Stroke of Genius. We may actually be getting into range of OTK this round, depending on what we get from one way or another. We can just grab the Acolytes. Seized is an option too, but the Acolytes is just 3 threat to clear. Propulsion Jets can take care of that in 1 swipe. And then we have another Photon Beam and a Stroke of Genius, Monica Chang, so we're up to 11 progress tokens now. And we get the surveillance team. And then we can Photon Beam again, get up to 12. Down to 3, and now I'm thinking, do I actually just have enough to finish off the boss this round? I think I do. That drops Magneto into phase 3. Use Monica Chang to deal the toughness, get rid of the toughness, and then we have 11 tokens. That's 22 damage. That is an OTK. So we killed Magneto in one turn. Where did he start that turn at? He started that turn in stage 2 with 15 HP. And then he died. Thanks to cycling tokens one way or another. It's a good example of what Ironheart is capable of at her best. And that being said, this usually does take 3 or 4 attempts to get set up. So it's not like you're going to dominate every round if you choose to pick up Ironheart or build the best deck that you can make. And I do think this is close to it. If not the best deck that you can make, this is close to it. She's definitely an S+ tier hero. Very, very strong. And you can see why. She has the ability to OTK any villain in the game, and just by saving up those progress tokens. And that damage is immune to retaliate, which is amazing. So you have to try a few times to get her set up because of that weak early game, but once you do, she can't be stopped. So, thank you for watching.